Hey, footy fans, you're ready for a little bit more footy fun with me, Footy Finn. Looking at the NRL finals, and wow, what an amazing final in Canberra on Sunday afternoon between the Raiders, the minor premiers, and the Brisbane Broncos. That's got to be one of the best games, best finals matches or NRL matches, full stop. You know, it's got to be up there with the 2015 grand final where the Cowboys beat the Broncos in extra time. Um, some would love the 2023 grand final. I wasn't really happy with the outcome there. But speaking of that, the Broncos did to the Raiders on Sunday what the Panthers did to the young Broncos in the 2023 grand final. That's basically a fair summation, I would say. The Raiders were minor premiers and deservedly so. They'd lost only 4 from their 24 games in the regular season. But when you look at their playing list, there's a lot of inexperience there. There's a few experienced heads like Joseph Papali'i and Josh Papali'i and Joseph Tapene. They were both there in the 2019 Raiders grand final loss to the Roosters. And Fogarty's 31, but other than that, there's quite a bit of inexperience across the team. Maybe it's no major surprise. Most of the Broncos, on the other hand, had played in that losing grand final in 2023, or indeed Ben Hunt played in their losing grand final in 2015. By about the 55th minute, I thought the Raiders had it won, and the Broncos had 2 in the bin. It seems that Canberra just kind of shut down, couldn't close out the game. Commiserations to Raiders fans, and I'm going to ask the question later in the video, can the Raiders recover from this? Can they go on and make the grand final and win it? There's no guarantees they'll make the grand final from here, so stay tuned for that. And please, hit me up in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think about this match, about these coming weekend's 2 finals. Please, if you hadn't done so already, like and subscribe. That'd really help me out. All right. The other thing the Raiders really were lacking was a field goal routine. It really came back to bite them. Fogarty had a shot late in the first 80 minutes from not too far out. It went a bit wide. Other than that, there was a real lack of a routine. Contrast that with the Broncos. They actually had, Walsh had 3 shots, I think. The very first one, I think, was from at least 42 metres out, and it hit the crossbar dramatically. One was charged down by Zach Hosking on the 80th minute, and that's what gave them the penalty to take it into extra time. One in extra time was charged down by Hudson Young, and then ultimately Ben Hunt kicked one from a long way out. Contrast that with the Raiders. Ultimately, they only had the 1 shot in regulation time from Fogarty. And most glaring of all to me was they had a perfect gold-plated opportunity with 15 seconds left at the end of extra time. They had a perfect opportunity to put over a field goal, and they didn't even go for one. Fogarty was placed a long way, positioned himself a long way from dummy half Owen Paddy, who also unfortunately stuttered with the pass, maybe because of the distance involved, and it just didn't become an option in the end. They got closed down. But that was a major lack in terms of finals preparation and execution on the part of the Raiders. I'm sorry. It just doesn't cut it at this level in NRL finals. So that came back to bite them. What else have I got scribbled down here? But I would say this. Into Golden Point time, Jed Stewart got a finger on a ball that was a bomb by the Raiders. It resulted in a try to Jamal Fogarty. So that was the second time the Raiders thought they'd won it. They thought they won it at 80 minutes, only for the TMO to come back and penalise Zach Hoskin. Fair enough, by the rules. That's a penalty. I don't know why you get the kick from right in front though, but anyway, that's the rules. They thought they'd won it then. Then they thought they'd won it in Golden Point with the Fogarty try, which was pretty thrilling. Now, personally, I'm pretty much a neutral here. I would have been happy for either team to win, but I think, and we see this a lot, it's ridiculous. Allegedly, the ball glanced the finger of Jed Stewart, who was actually moving his hand back towards his own try line. Allegedly, it went forward from there in the space of 15, 20 centimetres before hitting a Broncos shoulder. And that's deemed a knock-on. In my view, it's a load of shit. What is called a knock-on in 2025 is a crock of shit. I'm sorry. Been meaning to get that off my chest for some time anyway, and this incident just brought it to the fore. But it's all history now. And to be fair, the Broncos took their chances, as I said, had their field goal routines down, went for 4 shots as opposed to the Raiders' 1, and they got there on the 4th. Fair play to them. They have a week off now. But where to from here for the Raiders? This will be a massive... it'll drain them. They don't get a week off. But moreover, they've been through this full 90 minutes and then into the 5th or 6th minute of Golden Point time after 90 minutes. But the psychological damage, when they thought they've won the game on the 80th minute, then they thought they've won it again in the 3rd or 4th minute of Golden Point time. The physical and the psychological damage of this is going to be significant. Can they go on and win it from here? Firstly, they've got to take on the Sharks this weekend. Now, I wouldn't be too sure who to go for here, but the fact that it's on a Saturday night in chilly Canberra, I think will probably be enough to get the Raiders home. But we'll see. But then they've got to win another one after that. If they beat the Sharks, they've got to win another one to get to the grand final. And as I said, there's a lot of inexperience in their ranks. Can they recover from this? Well, they can. They've got to look at a precedent. And one that comes to mind is the Penrith Panthers 2021. Don't forget, the Panthers had not won a final. The current Panthers era of premiership wins had not begun at this point. They'd lost the final the previous year. After being minor premiers, I think they lost the grand final to the Storm. They finished second on the ladder. First week of the finals, they're playing the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and they got beaten. Probably unexpected. So from there, they had a mountain to climb. No week off. Have to win 2 more finals before even making the grand final. And they did that. They beat, I think, the Eels by 2 points. They beat the Storm by 6 or 8 points, the Storm being the defending premiers at that point. And then they went into the final, came back against the Bunnies again. And basically, there was only 2 points in it, but on the back of an injured Adam Reynolds missing a kick from near the sideline, they won 14-12. So it can be done. There's no guarantee the Raiders can do it. I have my doubts. I'd like to see them do it. But yeah, look, who knows? Anyway, for now, that's it. The other game, of course, on Sunday is the Panthers up against the Bulldogs. Looks like the Bulldogs have some injuries to key players, and while they haven't officially ruled out Stephen Crichton, I think he's minimal chance to start. I think Kickour's out as well. I need to look at the team list, but that could change with 22 or 23 listed, including the reserves. But yeah, bring it on. Loving this NRL final series. I'm going to be hanging out around the left edge until Saturday. But yeah, enjoy the NRL finals. Love it. See ya.